Live Common Sense Analytics. Just wanted to take time out to answer a few questions I got from folks. Like, people send me random questions and I try my best to, respond. I'm going to try to do this as a normal thing. Every week, I'm going to answer questions that people drop into my DMs, inbox, Facebook message, whatever. But one question somebody asked me about simulation. They said, if we live in a simulation, then how does God fit into all of this, in this whole simulation talk and everything? And what can we do? All you can really do is learn as much as you can. And when I say, I know that sounds rudimentary, that sounds real basic, but what we have to begin to understand is the fact that the more you learn, your brain circuitry starts to rewire itself. And in doing so, your perception changes. We're all victims of our own perception, meaning that the world you live in right now, even though it seemed like we all live in the same world, we all live in different worlds because all of our minds are projecting something different outward. So therefore, our experiences, even though some of us are in presumably the same places, we experience something different. So this is why the world is being recognized as being a simulation, because when you simulate something, you're going through the motion of acting out. It's not the actuality, it's an act. So if this is an act, kind of follow me right here. If this is an act, then is this really life? I mean, really think about that for a minute. We could take this outside of the whole simulation talk. Let's just take it in regular, everyday things that we say and do. We got sayings like life after death. If there's life after death, then what came before death? Did life come before death? Or what is death in itself? And I think that we put too much of an emphasis on death. We focus on death too much because most of how we live, most of how we move about every day, like how we perceive everything, how we worship, how we love, we do too much out of fear. People are in relationships that they shouldn't be in because they're scared of being alone. People go to church several times a week and they feel like they have to correct other people that's around them, because they have this fear of God. And I've always had a problem with that whole fear of God concept. Like, if your parent loves you, you love your parent not because you're scared of them. You love your parent because they're nurturing to you. Your parent never is gonna kill you. I mean, your parents might say some shit like, boy, I'll kill your ass, but ain't nobody finna kill you for real. But it's like the relationship most people have with God is that you love God because you're scared of what God is gonna do to you. That sounds like an abusive relationship. And I'm not telling you not to believe in God. I'm not telling you anything like that. I'm telling you to change your relationship with God. Stop being scared of God and be more open to knowing exactly who God is. And that's, you see God every time you look in the mirror, because every person's relationship with God is personal. So therefore, you can only truly um, have a God experience personally. You can't have it in a group. What you have in a group is you just have relative energy. All of y'all just vibing on the same thing. But but when you start talking about your relationship with God, that's all personal, because when you came into this world, nobody had to, tell you certain things. Certain things were just already there. What the world did is they gave you the basic operating system, their programming through school, church, home, morality, things you pick up along the way, all of that. That's what puts you in the position you are now, all of us. So what we have to do is we have to then deprogram ourselves, and we have to reprogram ourselves and relearn certain concepts that they taught us in a backwards manner. No love should be facilitated out of fear. No sincere love. So if you're going to love God, if you're going to love the Most High, whatever you call him, if you're going to love the Most High, God, whatever not, you should love them. You should love him, her, it, however you look at things. You should love them out of just sincere adoration. It should never be a fear situation. That's damn domestic violence. But that's a whole nother story in itself when you start looking at all of the damn stories in the Bible that are very violent. It's like, it makes you question, is the God in the Bible one God, or are you looking at things from several different people playing God, making themselves look like it's one collective lateral message all across from the beginning of the book to the end? But when you read these different books, as I tell people, you look at the King James version, and then you got the version that other religious followings have, and some Bibles have 66 books, other ones 78, other ones 86, other ones 123. I mean, at that point, your common sense should kick in and say, I can't limit myself to this one book, especially in the form it's given to me, because if I take this world that we live in as being, my experience of life, then I have to make the most of this life, even if I'm going through bad situations. Every situation that we go through is a choice. Most of our choices come from how we think. How we think, like I said, is our basic programming, the things we've learned throughout life. Once you deprogram and you reprogram yourself, and you stop thinking like you used to, you cease to have those same problems. And even certain problems that you will still have, you don't go through them in the same capacity you did once before. You skate right on past them, or it's not even something that affects you. It's not even something that even utilizes any of your time. But I kind of went off on a tangent about, God and everything, but that plays into the whole simulation thing. You're a simulation because you don't know who you really are. Once you start overstanding yourself, once you start understanding yourself, once you start letting go, as the people say, let go and let God. Basically, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, convince yourself who you are, and that's who you will become. That's all you do every day. Come on now. Women stand in the mirror with a bonnet on, plain face, and then an hour later, she got on her hair, lashes, got her foundation on, everything, all of that. And she convinces herself that this is who she is. Men, we stand in the mirror, we groom ourselves, we get all these straight lines on our face and everything and all of that, and we do our hair, we do, like, you know what I'm saying, we style our hair, get our clothes together, and we convince ourselves this is who we are. Nothing wrong with that. Honestly, nothing wrong with that. If it builds your self-esteem, then you have to find your avatar. And when I say find your avatar, you got to find what you have to find, the image that makes you, you. Who are you? See, because a lot of us like to run around here and tell folks like, oh, you need to take this off and you need to do this and so this, because that's not really who you are. That's not really who you are. How do you know who these people are? Everybody ain't here for the same reason. They're not. Everybody's not here for the same reason. Everybody ain't supposed to wake up. Everybody ain't supposed to get the information. Everybody ain't gonna just become part of this whole movement of, super consciousness, where we start to change our diets and we change our lifestyles and all that. No, man, most people are going to be just what they are, just who they have culminated up to unto this point right now. So what our job is we have to be sensitive to that. Meaning you can't be jumping down people's throat because they don't follow what you do, because they don't go about the same type of edicts in life, and they're not a part of the same familiarity with certain things you do, certain music, certain food, certain lifestyles, or whatever. Man, everybody different. We are the same, yet we're different through our experiences. Even if you went to school with somebody, you grew up with somebody, y'all lived in the same house, you had similar experiences, you even shared experiences, yet your perception and another person's perception will always vary, even if you tell the same story, because everybody is different. And that's the same science that lawyers catch your ass with up in court. Lawyers, okay, peep this. Prosecutors and lawyers will have you tell, and detectives will have you tell a story over and over and over and over and over again. They'll have two people tell a story. That's why when people try to get their story together, you're going to always tell a story that's going to vary even just the slightest, because you're looking through different eyes. You sitting at least 3 to 5 feet apart from somebody, so your vantage point of perception is going to always be different. But see, in legal nomenclature, they've learned how to flip that on you. So that's the reason I say everything is about perspective. So if you change your perspective, you change everything. You change everything. You won't exit this so-called simulation, but you'll begin to move in a different way. You'll recognize more things. And when I say recognize more things, I ain't talking about peeping shit going on around you all like that. Nah, when I say you'll recognize more, you'll find more strengths within yourself. You'll find the God in yourself. But that's just a little something I had to get off my chest, because I got asked a question about simulation, and everything links in with me. So you know, but I hope I answered your question. In the simulation, you're creating this simulation. You're part of the creator of this whole simulation because your thoughts create your reality. So if you think that you're in a simulation, and usually a person's perception is way smaller than they think it is, because if I asked you to imagine certain things we just can't. Like if I say imagine the size of the universe, the only reason we can come up with a size is because science has given us a size. But before that, it was looked at as something that was just infinite. And if it's infinite, how can they put a size on? Don't let people put you in a box. Don't let people put you in a box. Whether that box is a psychological box, an emotional box, a smartphone box, a book box, all these boxes. And people try to put you in there and trap you in there, meaning you become a slave to another person's perception. This is why sometimes I get into conversations with people and they feel as if I'm being sometimes difficult in the conversation, or they feel as if I just don't understand. No, I understand completely, and I am being difficult. I'm being difficult because you're trying to put me in a box. I ain't never been there, so I'm not going there. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have you step outside of the box and look in from the fourth wall perspective. And when I say the fourth wall, people get lost when I say that. Like, what the hell is he talking about? Okay, look at this. Let's just say you're in a room. You're in a room where you're shooting a movie. 4 walls in that room. You're standing with the camera. You're standing at the wall. We're standing at the wall with the camera. You're standing at the wall with the camera. You've got 1 wall, you've got 2 walls, you've got 3 walls, and we're at the 4th wall, meaning we have a full view of the entire spectrum of the room. We can see everything going on. That's why I say it's a 4th wall perspective, because you have to be able to look at the entire room. And the only way to look at the entire room is to back up. If you're going to be inside of the room, then you have to back up against the wall, and you have to allow yourself enough vantage point to see these different perspectives and to be able to put it all together and make it something collusive in the middle of the room that makes sense to you. Even if what they're telling you that's supposed to make sense is making no sense to you, don't put yourself in a situation where you just start believing shit because you see it on the news, because you heard it in the Bible, because you seen it in this book, because you see it in that. When I'm telling you, all of this stuff is stepped on. Y'all know what stepped on mean, man. All this stuff is stepped on. It's like dope. When dope is stepped on, that means that, it's been like cut down too many times. Like people keep cutting it down. Like it's no longer pure. So all of these sources have been stepped on historically and still being stepped on. So your job is to try to keep your shit pure. Meaning don't let people just sway you because everybody else doing it, because it becomes a consensus trend. So because everybody else believes something, now you just gonna believe it. Nah, man, you better keep your mind open. Always keep an open mind. I don't care what it is. Keep an open mind to everything, even when you see some of the worst shit. And I'm not saying an open mind as in justify. Hell no. I'm saying keep an open mind when it comes to understanding the deeper psychology that comes with it. Like we see people act a certain type of way, and we've come with these misnomer superficial labels where we just say, oh, they crazy. Oh, they stupid. They ignorant. They 85ers. They bald heads. They Gentiles. They so-and-so. Man, quit doing that shit. Quit doing that shit. Honestly, quit labeling people because they don't follow the shit you follow. That's self-righteousness. Ain't nothing wrong if you think you the shit, think on, player. But keep your damn, like, you know what I'm saying, emotionally and damn spiritually sick ass over there. Quarantine yourself. Because ain't nobody trying to worship from the church of you. So you have to always look at situations as have an open mind. Have an open mind. We live in the information age. Man, this is the fucking age of Aquarius. I know y'all been hearing that in songs since the damn 60s that the age of Aquarius was coming. The age of Aquarius, well, you in it. All information. You could draw whatever you want to pull down from the Akashic records. But I'm going to speak more about this whole Akashic records connection, AI. We got a live stream coming up about that. But I just wanted to come on and, you know, answer a question about, you know, simulation and, you know, let people know that basically you're an avatar. You're an avatar. And you have to decide how you going to move in this simulation. Are you going to be an actual player? Or are you going to be a damn NPC? Know what I'm saying? But, you know, but this is Ready Player One right here. Know what I'm saying? We at the cockpit. We at the damn controls. I'm looking at shit, keeping an open mind, building information, you know, building my mind, restructuring things because it's things I accepted and believed 10 years ago that you couldn't feed me that now. The way that I consume is different now. My diet has changed, you know, so I'm not in a situation where I'm eating from this proverbial, this damn MSN, internet, social media, propaganda, fast food joint everybody seems to like eat from, you know. And don't get me wrong, I'm online every day, all day. I work online. I'm on here all the time. So I get it. But that's the reason I was telling y'all about the timelines, man. If you log on to your Facebook, for example, since that's where most of us be. If you log on to your Facebook and your first 5 minutes online scrolling, you scroll through the first 30 to like, you know what I'm saying, 50 posts, and it's not something positive, then that starts to, you know what I'm saying, mess with how you feel. Start to mess with your emotions. You don't realize it because it's subtle. It ain't supposed to just make you mad right off. No, it's supposed to just subtly pick at you. And that's what it does. That's the reason. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Like, remember when they was having all those, like, you know what I'm saying, police killings and all that stuff, and people just kept posting that stuff and everything, and you see a different nigga get killed every other day and all that. That shit was messing with me heavily. I decided a couple years back I was going to restructure my whole timeline, everything. So And that's when I made that post about, restructuring your whole timeline. Because now when I log on, first things I see, man, people's birthdays, who graduated, who started a business, who, what I'm saying, had a new baby, who traveled somewhere. I see things like that. I see posts from, my friends and people that I haven't seen in years that are posting good events in their life. I don't want to see all that bullshit. You know, it's like I don't even comment on the bullshit. I see some of it, but I don't even comment on a lot of it. Now, when it comes to stuff that's more or less comical and things like that, laughter builds the soul. It heals you. So it's like, yeah, I'll comment on something funny. We can laugh. You know what I'm saying? We can joke, but even in the joking, we still being, what I'm saying, respectful, and we're coming to an understanding. But I just wanted to hop on here to answer that question. And, I done kind of went into y'all know me, I'm long-winded, man. But this your man, Honorable Ock, answering questions, all the thinking out loud, common sense analytics. I'm gonna check y'all out later on another live stream that we're gonna do, where we're gonna talk about this whole AI and what I believe it is, and scratch that. What I'll say, I hate that word, belief. So I'll say what I know it is up to this point and where I'm speculating. But I'm gonna catch y'all later. It's your man, Honorable October 9, all the thinking out loud live common sense analytics, straight out of Cincinnati, Ohio, baby.